One of the common themes in our group of Freedom Founders is kind of the mantra we came up with some years ago, and that is, you're closer than you think. Well, you're closer than you think to what exactly? Well, to freedom. Well, what is freedom? Well, that's defined by you, obviously. Some people think of freedom as being able to do whatever they want to when they want to, basically be out of the business, sell the practice, whatever it is, and be in retirement mode. And that's okay for some people. And some people, that's exactly what they should do. Other people, it says they just want more time off, not ready to be relieved of being active in a business or a career path, enjoying that. They want to be relevant and want to be productive and produce value. And they're too young in their minds to be retired. So it's just really about, how do you have more freedom? How do you have more time to do what you want to and still be a productive citizen or a productive business owner? Being closer than you think really comes down to really one main thing, and that is having much more certainty about your capital base and what that can produce for you when you're not working. So let's say it another way. Your investment capital, wherever you put it today, you may have tax brokerage accounts and stocks, bonds, mutual funds, annuities. You may have retirement accounts into 401ks. You may have whole life insurance. You may have a hodgepodge of other things. I don't know what you have, but whatever you have, ultimately it comes down to what will that equity, what will those investments produce for you on an income basis? Yeah, without you doing the work. That's what investment is, right? Investments are typically put together by saving money, by a disciplined approach, and putting it into certain kinds of vehicles, or in the financial world, Wall Street, they're called products. Now, products may have a place for any one person, but I don't believe in products. I love assets. I love tangible assets. Your business is a tangible asset. The good news is, it's a business, you have control over it, you manage it, you make it what it is. The bad news is, typically you have to be involved in that business, but that's just the way it is, right? Until you can elevate yourself out or become more of a passive partner, if you will. Well, that's what I look at as investments. How can those investments grow for me and then be ready when I'm ready to have them produce the income, the cash flow, the quote passive cash flow that I need to replace my active income, or start to replace it on some scale, some level where I can measure it and see. So when people come to Freedom Founders with whatever their investment assets are, wherever they are in their career path, we immediately start to break down exactly what they have, like the pieces of a puzzle. All these pieces of puzzle, and we help them redesign them to make them more efficient, put them in investments that they have more certainty, and ultimately more control. And I don't know about you, but control is something that I have to have in my life. Well, if you're a business owner, you actually also like control. But it's interesting to me that a lot of business owners, very good in their businesses, completely abdicate their financial realm to third parties. Wealth managers, wealth advisors, financial planners, Wall Street people who will take the money and tell you that they'll do the best they can with it, right? Just trust them, right? And they'll put together elaborate plans with pages and pages of spreadsheets and algorithms just to show you exactly what you're going to have when you, quote, want to retire. And then when it comes down to it and you ask them, how much do I need to have? They say, well, that's hard to say. And that's where the uncertainty comes from. You know, the accumulation model, just stacking it up wherever you stack it up, is not going to do you any good because it doesn't give you the certainty you need to know, do I have enough? We just finished one of our blueprint weekends for a small group of our new members. It's what we do virtually every month. And this is where we construct their blueprint, reverse engineer. What do they need, each member, to be able to take their foot off the pedal? Whether that's completely off, exit their practice, or just take it off and have another day or two a week that they don't have to go to work, where they can actually have that free time. What do they need to do that? What do they need in replacement income? So that's where it starts, replacement income. And then we figure out where the assets are and how to redeploy and set that up so we can have a measuring stick to let them know, hey, when you get to here with this much in investment capital that produces this much, that's the day you get to take more time off, or that's the day you can actually retire out. I'm thrilled to announce the release of my newest book, How Much Is Enough? I wrote this book because of the principles that I've learned over many years, not only in my own life, but by helping hundreds of other doctors and their spouses gain the freedom they so much have looked for and aspired for so many years, working hard in the trenches, creating a life, and then wondering, how do I get off the treadmill? I realized very early on that the principle of knowing how much is enough to allow you to have the freedom to slow down, to perhaps transition out of the business or exit altogether, comes down to how well your money works for you. Not how much you have, but how well that money works for you. The sustainability, the certainty, the ability to predict the cash flow that one needs to replace their active income. If you're struggling with how much do you need, where can you take your foot off the pedal, when can you slow down, I really imagine that you would want to get a copy of this book. So to do that, just request your copy below. It's free. Happy to send one out to you. I know it will make a big difference for you as it's done for so many others. Over and over again, we have couples that come to us and just want to know, where do we stand? Where do we stand? Because the financial world can't tell them. And when we do that for them, and we have a track record of doing this for hundreds and hundreds of dentists who have reached their freedom, their definition of freedom, it's a very satisfying feeling because it changes who they are, even if they're far from the day when they're going to leave active income. Had another couple that came a couple months ago, and before their blueprint day, even before the blueprint day, with the social proof in our community, what it has done for other people, that was enough of the glimmer of hope and faith that the doctor, the dentist, actually put into what his new model was going to look like. Not even been to the blueprint day yet. His wife said, in 2 weeks of just being a part of our community, he was a changed man. And she meant changed in a good way, where he wasn't so uptight and so stressed and feeling like the world was on his shoulders. And he became more the person that she knew him to be when they got married. And I think that's what we all want. That's what I needed when I was in the stress periods of my life and dealing with my practice and my daughter who was so ill, to know that I had a runway, a pathway that would lead me out, a plan B that took the stresses off and let me know that there was going to be the opportunity for me to actually spend time with my daughter. Who do you want to spend time with? Where's the focus for you? Is your time today less valuable than time in the future? In other words, are you putting things off today because there's a future time when you'll take more of the opportunity, the advantage to make the memories, to spend the time with the people you care about? Will that be a future time? Is that more valuable than today? See, I think it's a poor bet to make that bet, because we don't know what the future bodes. We don't know what may happen in a day, a week, a month, or in a year or two, when we're still thinking we can put things off. Having the certainty to build a plan that you can measure as you go takes the pressure off. And that changes the world for you. It changes the world for the people you care about. Remember, it's your freedom. You've got to be very intentional about it.